So before we get started here, I just want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. So now with that out of the way, the Ottawa Senators win last night 4-2 in Winnipeg over the Winnipeg Jets. And the Sens, they stay hot. They just keep winning all these games down the stretch here. 5 notes in this one: Philip Gustafsson back in the nets. Anton Forsberg backs up. And also Dadonov coming back from injury. Alex Formenton, I believe he got a little bit dinged up in the game against the Habs, so he's sitting this one out. So now let's talk about the game. So 10-13 in, Victor Mete throws a wrist shot on goal. It goes in past Connor Hellebuyck, but there was a deflection in front. Connor Brown would get a stick on it for his 20th of the season. Connor Brown, like I said in the last video, he continues to be the Sens' best forward. In my opinion, I know I saw that thing where, you know, they had like the Sens awards or something like that on Sportsnet. I think it was an article, and Tkachuk was their most valuable player. I gotta disagree with that. I think Tkachuk personally gets all these accolades mostly because of his name. Has Tkachuk done some good things this year? I mean, yeah, definitely. There's no denying that. But with that being said, people just make him out to be like he's the be-all and end-all for this team when really he's not. I think there's been a lot of players who have more than pulled their weight this year. Thomas Chabot, when he's been in the lineup, you could argue he's been their most valuable player. Connor Brown has been so valuable this year. It's unbelievable. The guy gets nowhere near the amount of recognition that he should in the media. And I think fans are starting to see that, yeah, Connor Brown is a pretty good player. And he just does so many good things. Even if he doesn't score 20 goals next season, he's good for around usually 13 to 17 goals. And he just does a lot of good things like killing penalties. He's tenacious on the forecheck too. He's hard to play against. He's a real good player. Just a real solid player all around. He doesn't do like a lot of things, like he doesn't do anything like really spectacular, but he does a lot of things really good. And that's why he's a very valuable player for Ottawa. After that, the Sens would be buzzing around in the Winnipeg zone again. They would throw the puck on net. Artem Zub throws it on net after Connor Hellebuyck plays it around. Stützle in the slot, tips it, perfect redirection up over Connor Hellebuyck's shoulder. It's in the back of the net. It's 2-0 Ottawa. The Sens have 2 goals on 3 shots at this point. The Jets, I got to admit, they were the better team that first 10 minutes of the first period. I thought after Ottawa scored their 2 goals, the Sens started to come on more, and they started to even out the play also. And then early on in the second period, Mason Appleton, just 55 seconds in, would score after Mark Scheifele did some good work, a great pass out front. The Sens, they get caught puck watching there. 3 guys kind of drawn to Scheifele. There's 1 guy left all alone in front, and he scores. It's 2-1. That'd be all the scoring in that second period. I thought the Jets were the better team probably in that second. They had some chances. Ottawa, though, doing a good job of protecting the middle of the ice. You know, that's something we've talked about a lot this season, where they have to protect the middle. They weren't protecting the middle the first few months of the season. Now they are. And seeing them win all these games down the stretch is almost like, wow, I mean, where the heck was this, 3-4 months ago? I always kind of get perturbed when I see a bottom feeder winning a bunch of games that don't mean anything in the standings down the stretch, because it's just so annoying to me, especially when it's a team I cheer for like Ottawa. It's like, okay, so where was this, like I said, 3-4 months ago? Like, why are you just getting so hot now when the games don't mean anything? 5:11 into the third period, Tim Stützle would score his 2nd of the game, and that was finished off after a great passing play from Brown and Pinto. And the Sens are up 3-1 at this point. And then with 19:07 into that third period, I should say, Mark Scheifele would score to cut the deficit for the Jets down to 1. But then Tim Stützle finishes off the hat trick as he gets his 12th of the season, his 3rd of the game, into an empty net. Connor Brown assists on that as well. Brown with a goal and 3 assists, or 2 assists for 3 points, I should say. Tim Stützle, 3 goals. This is why the video is titled what it is. Erik Karlsson's gift to the Ottawa Senators. You could call it the San Jose Sharks' gift to the Ottawa Senators too. But it's just so hard to imagine that, wow, when you really dig deep and look back at that trade tree, that the Erik Karlsson trade that bought the Sens of the draft pick that they used on Tim Stützle. Who would have imagined the Sharks would have been that bad too, to even give the Sens that chance to draft a player that good and that high in the draft as well. But fortunately they did. So thank you once again, Erik Karlsson. Thank you once again, San Jose Sharks. And thank you once again, Doug Wilson, for your charitable acts and for being that bad of a team too, to allow the Sens to pick 3rd overall in the 2020 draft and draft a player that's looking like he could really alter the course of their franchise in the right direction here going forward. Again, the Sens opponent looked, I don't know, a little disinterested at times. I think for Winnipeg, the bigger picture for them is, trying to win a Stanley Cup, not winning a late game in the season against a team that's not making the playoffs even. Montreal, it almost looked like the same thing. Maybe these teams are lacking a bit of focus. They're just waiting for the playoffs to start. Winnipeg, man, they don't look really good. They're like 2-8 in their last 10, and they had that big lengthy losing streak before they finally won against Calgary the other night. Speaking of Calgary, the Sens will be in Calgary tonight. At 8 o'clock, that game starts. And this will be their last road game of the season. Then after that, they only got one more game left against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we're coming to the end of the season. Some teams I want to mention have already wrapped up their season. Their 56-game schedule is complete for some. For the Sens, obviously with some postponements and stuff like that, under normal circumstances, they would have finished their season last night in Winnipeg. But because we had a few postponements, like I mentioned, they're going to finish it on this upcoming Wednesday, May the 12th. So please like and subscribe and share this video as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. And that's it for this one. I'll talk to you guys again soon.